Complete with my ONA volunteer t-shirt. A shameless plug since I was here this morning on the registration desk. Probably saw many of you bright and early at 6:30 or 7, so hooray, hooray. I've been volunteering on the registration desk for about 6 years now. I started doing that as a way to meet and greet people, and it is probably one of the best ways, if you've never volunteered, to get to meet pretty much the entire 2,400 attendees all in one fell swoop. So if you haven't volunteered in that way, I do encourage you to come out and do that. So my name's Leslie Wilkinson. I'm currently the Senior Product Manager at CNN for our mobile app. Many of you have probably used it, seen our videos, seen our push alerts. That's my bread and butter. Like many of my fellow nominees, I got my start working in local media. I was a newspaper designer, the Charlotte Observer and the LA Times. And along the way, found myself super involved in content management systems like CCI. So I was always one of those people who sort of sat in the newsroom and talked to the technology people and sort of went, hey, I've got an idea. Hey, I've got an idea. Or I've got a way to fix this, and sort of was a thorn in their side. I left the LA Times and went back to grad school to get my MBA as my way to sort of transition into digital. Sort of a roundabout way to get there. And I've run content teams at NASCAR.com for Turner Sports before I sort of took it further and moved into the product side of the house. I went to WRAL in Raleigh, where I got my start building mobile applications, which was fantastic. And from there, I've sort of worked to build more. Came back down to Atlanta, worked on building 10 apps for Cox Media Group's TV stations, and from there joined the team at CNN. So what I think that I'd be able to bring to the board is sort of that progression from not only being in those different roles throughout a newsroom, but looking for ways to bring those editorial voices into product organizations. I've heard from several colleagues and friends here today that, how did you do it? How did you build those skills? How did you learn to ask those questions that drove those technologists nuts? And how did you sort of learn to build those voices? There's definitely a growth in the curriculum here at ONA. About how to move into those audience development roles and also into product roles. I'd like to continue to work with the board to find more ways to build out those curriculums to bring those editorial voices into the product and technology organizations.